This week on the Big Eyes podcast, Itadori climbs up the rankings, Food Wars makes me rethink my life, and what does the end mean for two big titles? All this only on the Big Eyes podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Big Eyes podcast. As always, I'm your host, LJ. Oh man, I'm happy chapters are back. I know that more delays are coming. Everything that's going on right now has been making me dig deep in my bag of trying to be creative and continue to push out more new and just all types of content for this show. It's been fun though. It's been giving me a chance to look back at things that I haven't read before, catch up on things that I'm behind on. I'm very excited, very happy for to be doing those things, and just more things I'll be talking about soon. But the delays though, it is what it is. I understand. Hopefully everybody, all these writers, these creators are all staying safe, and thankfully that they're still giving us the content that we want. But but yeah, I've just been trying to dig deep into way more stuff and expand the content on here. Been having fun with it. But let's get into this week's episode. Alright, so I really don't want to talk about the chapters specifically, but I just kind of want to talk about Demon Slayer and The Promised Neverland are both coming to an end at the same time, and that's kind of crazy to think about, because first of all they're both coming off amazing seasons of their first seasons of anime, literally some great shit there. And I don't know, it's just crazy to think the both of them are coming to the end. But also I think that's just me sometimes thinking that things are gonna run very long, but they're ending at I think a good significant amount of chapters. I really think in terms of new anime, I really feel that My Hero is really the only current anime is gonna be dumb long. I think My Hero might go 700 chapters. I'm being dead ass serious. My Hero might go for a very fucking long time. I hope you guys are very prepared for that. But no, I think these two mangas are coming at an end at a very good time. I have some feelings about the Demon Slayer ending. I know I praise it a lot, but I feel that ending, in terms of just Muzan and how how he ended up being the final boss, that shit didn't go how I expected it to be. I'm just gonna be straight up. It didn't go as I expected it to be. They built him up to be this very menacing, this very gruesome villain, and then in the end he doesn't really live up to that name. I'm being dead ass serious. Upper Moon 1, he should have been the final fucking boss. That should have been I don't know, he should have been the final fucking boss, because there is he blew Muzan out of the fucking water in terms of just being a villain, and just how fucking menacing that battle was, and how menacing his was. So even his backstory, I feel storyline wise, that shit would have made so much more sense with him being the brother to the sheriff, that the very first breathing technique, all that shit, that should have been, yeah. I feel that ending there would have made more sense than kind of the ending that we got. But hey, whatever. But how it ended is how it ended. I accept it for what it is. That's all I'll say. I accept it for what it is. But I mean, even Promised Neverland, like that had a lot of twists and turns at the end. But like at the end, I do enjoyed how it kind of like ended out. It's very emotional. It's very cute. So I think it just turns that story. It's that ending was appropriate. But no, man, like it's crazy that the mangas are in, like it's cool that they'll be able to like fully focus on the animes. I would like to see like some like non-canon movies from both. That would be dope. I think that would be like some cool shit. But that I think like just my thoughts on those endings. I'll say this though, them rereads, like when I go back and read it, I have a very fucking good feeling them shit's gonna hold up. Them shits is good. Like overall, them shits are great. Yeah, man, I'll fuck with it. But yeah, man, two really good mangas coming to an end. The latest chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen, it really solidified for me personally that Yuji is one of the top 3 protagonists right now. Like, and to be honest, it's not, I won't say it's not close, but he's in the top 3. He needs to be in the top 3 conversation. He needs to be up there with the guys, with the Dekus, with Tanjiros, all that. Like he needs to be in that conversation. Especially just as not even just with this last chapter, of just how they write him. With most protagonists, especially in shonen, where they're showing these guys who are either learning a new skill or showing potential and whatnot. They have these when they're going against their trials and going against their enemies, they show them usually off as weak, and they have to dig deep and do all these things. But like usually, even when he's learning stuff and you're seeing the moments of growth, they don't make him look like pitiful. Like sometimes they be making the protagonist look pitiful for a moment, and then they have to like dig deep and they get like a lucky shot. Like him, they make him look strong like throughout, and even with his friends and people that help him along the way, they make him look on par with everything else that is going on, and that just makes him so cool to me. I mean, even just his design aesthetically, like he's just a cool looking character. Like low-key, I really want one of those like school uniforms, like those Japanese school uniforms, which is just so heat. But in this chapter though, this fight between Choso and Itadori, it's amazing. It's it keeps you on your toes. Once again, even in a moment where he's fighting an opponent stronger than him, and has to get help, he still looks strong, and he isn't, he doesn't seem helpless. He doesn't seem that he is, like I said, he doesn't seem pitiful. He just doesn't seem like he's pitiful, and that's like my favorite thing about him. But no, this chapter though, just an amazing fight scene. This bathroom fight scene between those two with the water, and the hand-to-hand combat, even the ending cliff hanger they leave it on. It was just super dope. But I've said this before, but I really cannot wait for this to be animated. Like I really hope that things aren't delayed too much for this adaptation, because just what a great story. And man, like we may be looking at another anime that is going to burst on the scene and just have a great response and have a great push, like the other Demon Slayers and Promised Neverlands of the world. Niggas been going crazy. Like creators of shonen anime right now are just been going crazy. Like there's so many really good stories out right now that is happening, and this is definitely one of them. I don't really remember a time where there's just so much heat just dropping like back to back to back, like all this stuff going on. But regardless of a really great chapter, I'm excited to see where they're gonna push this story at after this chapter, where the story is going. That was a pretty intense way to end this chapter, with him seeming that he is in much more danger than expected than before. So I'm excited to see where this goes. But just in terms of him as a protagonist, what a great way they have been building him and making him grow and just making him just seem just on level with just everything else that's going on, and just but in a way where not everything is in his basket. Like they have, like, in terms of the storyline, like a lot of other people are also holding up this storyline. So even though he's the main one, there are other interesting people around him that makes him even more interesting. I think that's really another thing too that they have done so well with him. But in general, man, just a great story, just great characters, what a great main protagonist to even just build around and just have, centering all of that. So, but that was this week's chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen. So I had to tap back in with Food Wars because I just needed to change the pace with a lot of stuff that I've been reading. Like, I've just been trying to catch up on a lot of stuff, and so I've a lot of stuff that I've been reading in terms of plot and all these other things, like they've been all pretty similar. One thing I just really enjoy about Food Wars is that it is it has an intensity of a lot of mangas that I read. A lot of just a lot of stuff. It has that intensity, especially with the battles, and I just finished up the camp that they had to do at the hotel, and just them going through all those trials and tribulations and just all those things. It has that same factor that draws you in terms of action. But one thing that I just really enjoy about it all too is just how realistic it feels. Especially when you're even going through the you're going through that camp, you don't know, like, you obviously who the bad guys are, but they're all in competition with each other, and it feels very real life of, I may still have friends and things that I do, but at the end of the day, like, if we're all going towards the same goal, even though I'm pushing you, I also have this understanding that you're also someone that I'm competing against, and they keep that within it. I don't know, maybe just Food Wars is showing me that I need to continue to expand my horizons. I've been really digging like the slice of life type mangas, even in anime. Like, I've been trying to find more of that type of stuff. So if you're listening right now and you have some good like slice of life, like coming of age type stuff, definitely give me a shout and like give me some recommendations. But Food Wars, there's something about it I just really love about it. Just especially just how the story is told. Especially just how they're building Soma up, like, as as the main character. I'm starting to figure out more about his backstory, especially with his dad, and like the mystery behind his dad and what makes his dad such a good chef, and just those little things that you could really relate to. I think like that's one thing that I just that also I really connect with, is that this manga is very easy to connect with, because it's very kind of it's easy to connect my life to it, because it's not like these guys have powers or anything. These guys are chefs, these guys are cooks, and they're just trying to pursue and to be the best chef and best cook that they could be. I love that they they do little cool things at the end of the chapters, like add the recipes. That's pretty tight to me. But nah, man, like, in this is just really kind of just showing me, like, this is just a nice like palate cleanser. It's not too far away from like the type of stuff that I read in terms of just action-y, but just how things are playing out in this. I'm not worried about transformations or power levels. I'm just like, it's cool to see them go through the same type of growth and the same type of the hero storyline that a lot of other heroes go through, but it's just dealing with it in a different way, in terms of just using food and using like real life scenarios. And that's just something that I've just really been enjoying. Something I really need to like kind of get into more, because I'm finding myself being like a real fan of it. Even like something like, even though I talk about it a lot, like Spy Family is like that too, where it's more they talk about like real life stuff. Like, granted, there's like a bit more like super like fictional things in it, but they talk about like real life stuff, like relationships and like how to navigate that, and just like little things like that. But Food Wars is tapping back into it, it's been really fun. It's also really like beautiful, like how the food is drawn is really beautiful and it's really appealing. And man, like it's very like visually appealing, and that's cool, because like working at restaurants or seeing plates and like seeing food, presentation is such a big thing. And I like how they like actually put an emphasis on this, of like when they draw the food or when they like show the food being cooked, adding that like extra zing into it, just to make it just feel much more realistic, and much more like this is like visually appealing. But no, yeah, man, just reading Food Wars though is just really letting me know, like I'm starting to wanting to get more into more real lifey things, and just trying to find more mangas that are a little bit more like I said, slice of life, coming to age type stuff, more just real life stories. Now I'm starting to feel that. I'm starting to catch that wave. I wasn't on it like that much before. I'm like I said, like technically it's still shonen, but no, I was really heavier into the actiony stuff and whatever. But I'm starting to expand my horizons a bit. I want to start digging deeper into the to more stuff. So if y'all have any type of recommendations, please feel free to give them to me. Tapping back into Food Wars was a great decision by me, because I'm a genius. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Big Eyes Podcast. Once again, you can follow me on Twitter at JamalSLM, and you can follow me on Instagram at StrawHatLJ. Follow us on the Lookout RNC page. I just dropped a great thread of all the mangas you should be reading during this quarantine, so definitely please check that out. Also, my guys at Mount Silver, we're doing another Netflix watch party where we're going to be watching the starter episode, so please tap into that. That should be next Sunday, I think. Next Saturday. So next week, check the page, go to the Lookout RNC, go check us out. And if you're just a fan of podcasts in general, follow us at the main page at RNC Radio Live, everything sports. Shout out to RSPN right now, my guys Mark and Jeff that are doing. They're going through the Last Dance documentary. So that's something super fun that they're doing right now while the NBA season is still currently on hiatus. But regardless of, we have everything for you under the sun: music, wrestling, pop culture. Shout out to my guy Nelson, who's back with Chatting with Nelson. So remember, follow us at RNC Radio Live for all your podcasts and anything else under the sun that we're doing. But once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Big Guys Podcast. Stay plus ultra. Peace.